morning, good afternoon, good evening, Fabulites. I have a question for you. What opens with a montage that includes Miss Darla coming to Ralph Angel Ra with mended clothes, and what closes with Miss Darla having to suffer the consequences of her decision to come for Ralph Angel, support Ralph Angel, and maybe not support herself enough? If you guessed, Queen Sugar Season 2, Episode 4, My Soul's High Song, then you're correct. Let's see how we got from opening to closing. I'm Angela. The channel is Be Fabulous You, and thank you for clicking and sticking around. Let's go. Okay, so we open with Miss Charlie making a green smoothie for the whole family. That's a big old green smoothie, ain't it? That's a lot of green smoothie. And we see Darla coming with mended clothes, and Blue returns the decorated binder that was not commissioned. Micah did not commission a child to decorate his binder, but he done took his calculus binder and decorated it, and he returns it so proud, just like a little brother would do. And Ra gets a letter. And then the next thing we see is Vi's. We're at Vi's place, and Mr. Wood is under the sink. He's fixing. And Wood is like, okay, I'm finished with that. What's next on the list? I'm ready to go. And Vi is like, baby, you done. You've knocked out the honey-do list in the 3 weeks you've been here. It's not, just go chillax, relax. Go sit down, and here's a beer. Go. I'll be back from work at the end of the workday. Chill. Wood is like, what? Do I just sit around here and wait for something to break? Vi is like, relax. Okay, so then we see Charlie, and she's at the Queen Sugar Mill, and she's making another presentation to a group of black farmers, selling. She's selling. And it seemed to go well. She's selling the Queen Sugar Mill, and the peoples are buying, or, you know, more and more people are buying in. Yay. And then we see Miss Nova at the newspaper, and she's introducing herself to Steve. He's her new boss, her new editor. And she's letting him know, you know, hey, this paper, i.e. me, I do tough stories. No one writes about justice like we do. And he's like, yeah, but we want to do more good news. People want to hear the good news. Which, is that really true? If it bleeds, it leads. Isn't that what they say in the news? So he want to do fluff stories. He just don't want to do the news stories, the types of stories that she want to do. He want to do stories of black people doing jacked up shit. He don't want to do stories of the system doing jacked up shit to black and brown people. That will really go on, in my opinion. Because who ever heard of a news organization that focuses on... That's why I don't even watch the news, because it's always some negative bull. Okay, he's like, let's write about solutions, not just problems. Let's be upbeat. That's what the editor is claiming to be about, but we don't buy that. We don't buy that. Don't believe the hype. Okay, so then we see Charlie, and she's chatting with Remy, and they're celebrating that 2 more farmers signed on for the Queen Sugar Mill, and she's, thanks to you, Remy. And, you know, then they, you know, looking around, she's like, what do you see? And Remy is like, cobwebs, and she's like, possibility. She's a visionary. And then Charlie gets a call that her rental fell through, and the agent has a viewing set up, and she invites Remy to come with, because he's good. His second opinion game is tight. Come on, give me a second opinion. So then we see Ra on the phone, and Mr. Prosper is walking with them, and Mr. Prosper is like, you know, something don't look right, and we find out that there's a white fly on the cane. We have a white fly infestation at the Bordelon farm in the home headquarters of the Queen Sugar Mill. So then we're in this big, bright, beautiful, modern space. There's a white female agent, and Charlie and Remy are there. And Remy, he sort of look away. And Charlie gets a text and a call from Ralph Angel, and she and Remy kind of look, and Remy is like, white fly, white fly. And Ralph Angel is like, we're ready to start the cleaning now. We got 30 acres to clean. And Charlie is like, cleaning? Because we already know she don't like cleaning. She's like, what we talking, huh? And then Prosper is like, yeah, we got to clean and remove the affected leaves. And Charlie is like, well, how long is that going to take? Remy's like, a day. It's faster to do an aerial application. And Ra is like, it's faster, but not cheaper. It's $5,000. And then he's like, well, some money came in today. So that letter he got, I guess, was some money coming in. And Charlie is like, that's for you. That's for you, baby. I'll pay for the application. We do this aerial application. Yeah, I'll pay for that $5,000. That ain't nothing. Okay, so then we see Nova with the twin babies and the mama that we saw at the opening of the season. She was tie-dyeing or drying some cloths that she had made for them and wrapping up and taking to the shower. So she's singing a prayer and ritualizing and blessing the babies. And, I call it a tasting of the elements type ritual, but that's what she's doing. And the mama is like, the mama of the twins is like, you don't want to have a family of your own? And Nova's like, I got family. I got Ralph, Vi, Blue, Charlie, Micah, and the brothers and sisters that I fight with every day. And then, the mama of the twins is like, well, how's work, Miss Ida B. Wells? We know Ida B. Wells was a journalist and justice fighter for black folks. Ida B. Wells, say your name. Okay. So, and then Nova's like, this new editor. And her friend is like, well, tell him you quit. And then Nova's like, well, if he called my bluff, then I lose not only my paycheck, but my platform. So I think I'm just going to go along to get along until I can win him over. So then we see Ra videoing the aerial anti-whitefly application. Whitefly, y'all. Whitefly. We had a white neighbor and the uncle and the cousin that after him. Now the whitefly after him. What, is there a connection? Okay, so he's videoing that, and then Blue and Darla walk up, and they're back from the water. Earlier, she took him to the beach or somewhere, but he was excited to see swim shorts, so baby Blue was all, so they're back. And Darla is like, that Blue can't swim? There's some swimming classes, and Ralph Angel is like, well, how much are they? And Darla is like, well, I'll pay, and Ra is like, I told you, I don't want you paying for stuff. So I guess he feel like he the daddy, so he have to pay for everything. I'm not quite, but we definitely, we're getting this clear conversation here going on, because at the restaurant, he didn't want her paying for anything. And I told y'all, I was told that, what's mine is mine and what's his is ours. So I guess Ralph Angel come from that school of thought. He's a little young for that, though. Isn't that kind of unusual? Interesting. Okay, so then we're at the High Yellow, and Remy is there, and Charlie is watching the aerial anti-fly application video, and Char is like, ooh, if this doesn't work, I'm losing $1.5 million worth of cane. And Remy is like, will that affect your decision on that rental house we were looking at? It's too much. Your money is better spent around here. And Char is like, yeah, Charlie is like, yeah, it's a lot of house, but it's closer to Micah's school and to his classmates. And after all he's been through, Micah needs stuff to get back to normal. And then Remy is like, well, your normal show is different from my normal. You want to lead the people. You want to get the people to invest and be with you. You got to love the people. Be with the people. And Charlie, it's like, I'm leading by example. I'm doing right by my son. People can appreciate that. I'm modeling hard work and excellence and success. And then Wood walks up, and Vi is fussing at the late egg delivery, and she's busy. And, she basically say to Wood, what's up? I'm working, babe. I can't be entertaining you. And Wood is like, I'm bored. You don't have to entertain me. I'm just watching. And then a woman comes up. She wants Vi to make a pie, but Vi ain't got time to make the pie for the event because she busy with work. And Wood is like, hey, I could help. I can make those pies for this lady's grandbaby's christening that you don't have time to make. Just tell me everything I need, and I'll do the rest. I done seen you make pies. He desperate. I don't know if he was desperate and just looking for something to do, or if we were going to discover that he was like this brilliant pie maker. But I think he's just desperate and bored. Okay, so then we're at the dining room table, and Charlie is there, and Ra, and they're talking farm business. And Micah is also there. He's doing homework. And then we see baby Blue, and he's sneaking up from behind Micah, and he surprises him. Surprise! And Micah elbows Blue accidentally. Ralph Angel slams Micah and holds Micah up against the wall. Charlie is comforting Blue, and Ra's like, don't you ever, to Micah. And Charlie gets between Micah and Ralph Angel, and Micah is like it was a mistake. And Ralph Angel takes the baby, crying baby Blue, into a room and closes the door, and he's looking like, I can't believe you tried to hurt my baby. But he didn't really. This whole little storyline here was a bit, for me. I'm like, cousins, little brothers, big brothers, they get on each other's nerves. The child wasn't trying to hurt the child. I mean, it was an accident. I mean, he said he was sorry. You gonna kill him, Ralph Angel? I mean, you kind of protect. I mean, and plus he a little boy. I mean, I'm not saying we need to be elbowing him and throwing him across the room. And I mean, he was upset. We want to comfort him, but I don't think that Micah need to be like hemmed up, prison style and beat down. Because it was kind of intense for me. And then, so they go into one room, and then Micah gets his stuff, and he shrugs off Charlie. I'm going to do my homework. And then we see Miss Char. She's alone at the dining room table, and she's semi-distraught. Okay, so then we see Char and Ralph Angel, and Charlie is like, it was an accident. You should understand Micah's type of stress. You of all people. And Ralph Angel is like, it ain't right. It ain't right. Wait, what you mean? And Char's like, because jail, And Ra's like, I know you ain't comparing my 4 years of prison to his 4 hours of custody. And Char's like, it messed him up. But I don't even think he was acting like messed up out of trauma. I think the child surprised him, and but anyway, it messed him up. It messed him up so bad that he accidentally elbowed, baby boy Blue, But anyway, she's like, it messed him up. And Ralph Angel was like, you and your husband Davis messed that child up. Money don't make you safe around here. It just makes you forget who you are. But I don't think the child elbows the boy because he thought he was better than somebody, or he only know famous people. He got surprised. Okay, so then we see Charlie and Prosper and Remy and Ralph Angel, and they're following up at the farm. And, they looking at a piece of sugar cane, and Remy is like, okay, the flies are gone, but we got to scrub, though. We got to keep this mold under control or whatever. And Charlie is like, we sprayed. Now we got to do stuff by hand. And then she comes home to Wood in the kitchen. And Vi is like, okay, baby, here, you separate them eggs out over there for the whatever. And, she kind of takes control. And then Wood gets a text, and he's like, Ra wants me to come over to the farm. And Violet is like, go. And then Wood goes. Then we see Nova with a woman, and the woman is like, recidivism is down. And Nova is like, well, the numbers sound good, but I want to talk about the people, though. And the woman is like, look, drop the act. You only got bad things to write and say about this police department. That's why nobody else from this office will talk to you. And then that's the end of that scene. Then we see Darla at work. She work in the phone booth, and her phone is ringing, and she smiles. And, Ralph Angel says, can you come by? I need you. Now, this child is at work, right? Okay. So then a man walks up. We realize it's her boss. And he like, I didn't know I was paying you to take personal calls. And Darla's like, it's an emergency. Can I leave? I'll find some coverage. And the boss is like, is your kid okay? And Darla's like, Blue is fine. It's his dad. And his boss is like, no, you need to do your love life stuff after your shift. Then we're at the farm, and we see Prosper training and instructing a nice-sized crew. They done got some black farmers together, and Wood is there, and Nova is there. They got a nice little group of people, volunteers and stuff. And then Darla shows up. And then, Nova, Char, and Remy are there. And then Charlie is like, well, thanks for showing up, she's saying to a man. And the man is like, well, shoot, Ernest was always there for me. Plus, he owed me, this other guy, he owed me $30. We had a bet as to whether you be out here ruining your manicure and stuff. They chuckle. But Miss Charlie is not amused. And then Nova and Charlie go inside, and they're getting water. And Char's like, you still think I'm a bougie bitch? And Nova is like, what's up, girl? And we were arguing. You still letting Ralph Angel get to you? And then Char is like, he had Micah up against the wall. And Nova is like, what? Y'all come stay with me. Y'all too close for comfort. And Char is like, I'm not going to let him run me off. This is as much mine as his. And Nova is like, see, you ain't bougie. That's a hood attitude, girl. Okay. So then we see Vi, and she's coming over to the farm. And she's like, I made an extra pie. Do y'all want pie? Y'all notice she ain't out there cleaning no stuff. She made pie. And, there's like, she walk up on Ralph Angel and Charlie, and it's like a tense situation that she senses. I thought Ralph Angel was mad at Aunt Vi. I couldn't figure out, but I guess he was mad at Charlie. And she says, what's up? I thought you two were better, Violet says to Ralph Angel. And Ra, she always let you know she better than you. She's staying in my house, on my farm. And Vi is like, now Daddy left it to her too. And Ra tells and shows Vi about the letter from his daddy leaving the property just to him and Blue. And he like, Char need to get out of my face. And Violet is like, ooh, Ralph Angel, this could hurt you up something bad. And then Ralph Angel is like, how long am I supposed to hold on to this? And Vi is like, you can write that check if you want to, but you best be ready to cash it. Meaning, you're going to jump bad and get in Charlie's face. You better be ready to run this farm on your own. So then we see Charlie drinking wine, and Micah comes in. And Micah is like, I know we're not going to find nothing like home here. We can live closer to the farm and the mill, because his mother had asked if it was okay. And then it's a door knock, and it's two cops. They come in, and they say they're looking for Ralph Angel alone, parole violation. Then it's like Ralph and Charlie and Micah, and they look, and then Micah, he leave the room. Then the cops, they looking around, and they say, we received complaints about gunshots. You have any weapons on the property? And then Charlie is like, oh, I do. My father left it, left it to me. I'm staying here with my brother. And the cop is like, you fire it? And Charlie is like, yes, lie. Because we know she ain't fired. Ralph Angel fired it. And then the cop is like, it's still a violation to be in the house with the weapon. And Ralph Angel, picking up on the lie, he say, I didn't even know it was here. And Charlie's like, well, I didn't know it was a problem, officer. I mean, I'll be moving out tomorrow. And the cop is like, it's still a problem, Mrs. West. And she realized then he know who she is, And so then she really get to shucking and jiving and smiling. The same thing her husband did to try to get her son out of jail. She basically doing a variation of that to try to smooth things over for her brother, So she was so critical of him. But now she in the same situation, and what else she got? She got to smile, shuck and jive, So she do all of that. I don't know nothing about no living with no snakes and spiders. I honestly don't know how y'all do it, And the cop is like, just make sure you take it with you when you move out tomorrow. And then the cops leave, and Ralph Angel is like, thanks. And Charlie is like, I always have your back. And then we see Ra go into the room with Micah. And he, Ralph Angel is like, I remember when you was born. You about as young from me as I am from Nova. You like a little brother. But we ain't been together. I don't know how you grew up. I know it's different from Louisiana, how you grew up. I've been through some real stuff. But I'm here if you need to talk. And Micah is like, yeah, I'm sorry I hit Blue. And then Ralph Angel is like, in jail, they force us to act like animals. But we got to remember that we're human. I'm sorry I put my hands on you. Then we see Vi cleaning in the kitchen. And Wood is like, I'm sorry I made such a mess in your kitchen. Is that why you sent me off to do the back-breaking work just to get rid of me? And he's like, it felt good to work, though. I'm going to go find a job. I like work. And Vi is like, you need to just relax some more. They got us thinking we supposed to work till we die, or that is a problem. That ain't my American dream. Is it yours? And Wood is like, this is my dream, waking up with you, going to bed with you, being with you. But you ain't happy at the high yellow. I see how you be looking. The only time I really see you happy is when you in your kitchen. What's your dream? What does it look like to you? And then Violet is like, shoot, me making people happy with my pies, my own business. And he like, well, you know, we got to work on that. And he says, because we ain't too old to get ours, babe. So how old is Wood? How old is Vi? I'm thinking Vi is in her 50s, 60s. And that Wood is in his 40s, 50s. Okay, so they might be too old to get to American. Are they too old? They ain't too old? Okay, whew. Okay, still hope for us, you think? So then we see Micah. He comes into the room with Blue. And, you know, Blue nervous now because he done got elbowed. He been abused by Micah. I didn't touch anything. And Micah is like, you know, thanks for sharing my room with, sharing your room with me. And, you know, I'm sorry I hit you. It was an accident, but it's not okay. And then he's like, I got you this art kit. And Blue is all excited and they hug and all is forgiven. And then we see Charlie at her new place. They unpacking stuff and, you know, we find out that it's the meal. And Violet, Nova, Ralph Angel, Blue, Wood, Remy, they all there helping. And they like, you buy up the whole store? And Charlie is like, well, we came here with just the clothes on our backs. And it takes more than that to make a home. I can't get any closer to the community than the meal. I guess she's saying that to Remy. Did she look at him and smile? And then Nova says to Ralph Angel, I'm glad you and Charlie made up. Shoot, the Boudreaux are dangerous, calling the cops. I think they called the cops on you. Darla is good for you. And then speaking of Darla, we switch over to Darla. She's showing up at work. And the guy handed her the envelope. He like, this your last paycheck. You can go on someplace. You dismissed. I specifically told you not to leave. And she like, wait, you can't. I work double shifts. I'll make it up. You know, this is part of my recovery. He like, yeah, well, the other part of your recovery is dealing with the consequences of your actions. Don't make me call security. And that's basically how the episode ended. Queen Sugar. That's what we got. Thank you for watching, liking, commenting, subscribing. I'm Angela. The channel is Be Fabulous You. And remember, Fabulous One, be you. Be fabulous. Be fabulous you.